Hello friends, Oculus Temps here. Today we're playing Fear and Hunger 2 Termina. This is the sequel, obviously, to Fear and Hunger 1. Classic trigger warnings, there's a lot of graphic stuff in this game, so flashing lights, so if that stuff, doesn't jive with you, probably don't want to watch this. So, let's start with a new game. Okay, there we go. Alright, I'm getting a Persona vibe already. Birth of a God, Termina, Death of Innocence, only something. Alright, so choose character, class, ex-soldier. 18, info, having fought in war since he was 13, ex-soldier excels at range combat and has a great aim with most firearms. I really read that as, like, lost an arm at some point. The BSAD doesn't work here. 18, occultist. 18-year-old info, the occultist focuses on the creative use of the otherworldly powers. While not as strong with harmful and offensive skills, her abilities are no less impressive when used properly. Doctoro, 28. Looks roughly the same age, same facial features. The doctor's skill set is mainly focused in curing different status elements and analyzing the possible weaknesses in enemy anatomy. Listen, I learned enough from Fear and Hunger 1. Go for the sacks of skin, in quotes. Mechanic, 27. Nice overalls. The mechanic is adept at crafting her own makeshift weapons and traps. Along with mechanical skill, she also understands more complicated machinery. Yellow Mage, age 32. These were enemies in the first one. Contrary to other priests' beliefs, Yellow Mages don't dedicate their lives to worship. Yellow Mages use otherworldly power only to their own benefit and to further their agenda. You literally just fought this game? Dope, dope. Botanist, 20. The botanist's knowledge covers a wide variety of plants and herbs. You can create mixtures with strong healing properties, or alternatively, she can use her knowledge to create potent poisons. Thug Boxer, age 31. Crank up the flux, kind of burning my eyes out a little. Info slash life. Life in an underground boxing ring has taught the boxer how to deal with opponents barehanded. Boxer cells at, gotta pick the JoJo looking character. I assume this is the Thug Boxer, right? And journalist, 26. Having covered wars, coups d'etats, and other disasters, the journalist has picked up various skills that help her survive. Persuasion skills, oh god, I love the diplomacy. I love diplomacy so much. I like botany. Yeah, she's in a wheelchair. I was thinking about making comments about, like, so can her limbs get crippled? Like, her legs get crippled like other characters? Or does the chair just get disabled? The mechanic's cool, too. I can pick a black mage, or I can pick a... I'm gonna go black mage. I'm gonna go black mage, or yellow mage. Like, Final Fantasy black mage. I'm not trying to make some type of, joke. Do we want Tempest in small, or do we want, like, big Tempest? Let's go with big Tempest gaming. Wait, can I do, Alright, that looks too, Sure, alright. Let's transform and roll out. Again, not another wheelchair joke. I know a bit about her. To be a bit of a spoiler free, her leg limbs are pretty useful for punching bags, but she can be hit out. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I assume her torso is not invincible. Fear and Hunger mode, easier, mass. Oh my god, that's such a pretentious mode title. uh, Ooh, this is interesting. Ooh, let's try Fear and Hunger mode. Let's go with that. me the full text adventure? Damn straight. The soothing sound of the rail tracks. You're not used to such peaceful and tranquil atmosphere. You can't help but let your mind wander. You reminisce what has led you to this point in your life. Great character pick too. Pog. You were born and raised in the raging heats of Abyssonia, the continent with a long war embedded with chaos and warring factions. Those fools, the people around you wage wars over ancient disputes and grudges started by long-gone ancestors. But this is how it had always been. The people of Abyssonia held ancestors and their spirits on a godlike pedestal. But I strive to become my own godlike entity instead of my ancestors. I will become the pedestal. Oh wait, that's not what's written down. But it's not like it was any better in the north, in the continent of Europa. These fools worshipped ancient deities that none of them had ever seen with their own eyes. And they certainly had their disputes as well. A great war after another. What's worse, their disputes didn't stay within their borders. They dragged everyone into their mess. They had their eyes set on Abyssonia now because of its strategic position in securing an access to oil and other raw materials from the east. It was only a matter of time before their troops would march on your land. Wait, am I talking to myself or is the narrator talking to me? Because I'm reminiscing, right? About my past? You were not going to die because some faceless puppeteers chose to focus their magnifying glasses on your home country this time. Despite your young age, you decided to leave. I'd like to point out our character is 32. Maybe they departed earlier than this? Your siblings and mother would mourn your departure. They want you to have something to remember them by. Take your family, Chalk Chalk. Take your father's memento, Soulstone. Take family? You took the Chalk Chalk with you. You had considered yourself as successfully dead inside, not swayed by emotions. But it took a lot of effort to convince yourself that you wouldn't miss your family. You still obviously had weaknesses to weed out. Jesus Christ, that's so edgy. That's so edgy. You were dead on the inside, but you would still miss your family. You headed to the City of the Sun, Amon, to educate yourself on spiritualism and religion. You were no slouch physically, but you always considered your intellect to be your true forte. And just like that, you were accepted as an apprentice after some preliminary tests. At the same time, news about the Great War closing Abyssonian borders were all they could talk about on the radio. Amon was far from the borders and would probably remain safe for a good while, even after a war broke out. You figured you'd still have plenty of time to learn at the temple and leave the country before it was too late. At the Temple of Amon, you were given a choice to learn various different schools of spiritualism. Learn of worship in Europa. Learn magic from Eastern sanctuaries. Learn methods of your home country. Well, if I remember anything from the Eastern sanctuaries in Fear and Hunger 1, that would give us destruction magic. And what better way to become a god in our own right than to learn destruction magic? You learned pyromancy trick. Okay. You're talented and praised for your quick learning at the temple. But that came as no surprise to you. You knew you were smarter than most of those old geezers. They only possessed knowledge you wanted. Once you had that, they served no purpose to you. The more time you spent at the temple, more pathetic the priests of Amon started to look in your eyes. Religion in general started to look dubious too after examining how the world functioned. Most religious doctrines were molded to accommodate the current ruling class. Religion was used as a mere tool to control masses more than anything else. Dedicating your life to worship would equal dedicating your life to kings and queens of the time. You had left your home because you didn't want to die fighting someone else's war. Why would you waste your life serving someone else in turn? This time you found an old scroll from one of the many Amon libraries. The scroll mentioned an old sect of magical practitioners originating from Eastern Sanctuary whose worldview seemed more appealing to you. Yellow Mages differed from your typical priests. Instead of dedicating their lives to worship, gods existed for them. The first was to be harnessed to further one's own personal growth and agenda. Instead of finding order from the commandments laid out by the older gods, Yellow Mages reveled in chaos. Chaos was the natural state of the world. Chaos was the natural state the world would return to time and time again. So why even try and force anything else? Oh my god, it didn't record twice. So annoying. You quit the Temple of Amon and decided to head east in pursuit of these Yellow Mages. Traveled beyond your home continent, ultimately finding yourself at the narrow streets of eastern sanctuaries. You got acquainted with the local temples. Even they had adopted the worship of Almer as their main religion. It's the god from the first game. Eastern sanctuaries were no better than the temples of Amon in that regard. If anything, religion was even more prevalent there, and dictated the way people were to live and die. You were looked down upon by the scholars and religious leaders of the area because of your very public opinions. That didn't bother you. You knew better. In time, your conviction convinced the facets you wanted. Okay. That's a weird sentence, I think. You were approached by a group of traveling mages who wore colorful attires. The Yellow Mages that were still around in this day and age were reduced to small, separate groups wandering around the world to study all fields of the otherworldly. The group saw the potential in you and offered a place among them. You liked what you heard and decided to join the wandering group. What did you specialize in? Alright, so basic techniques and advanced techniques. I'm gonna go with basic techniques to try to round out our pool of just generic jazz. You learn La Danse Macabre, the traditional dance of the Yellow Mages that channels otherworldly powers close to you. Okay. Your path of learning and self-growth knew no end. Your travels brought you to a small border town in eastern sanctuaries. There you met a curious person, Hadil Azif, a self-proclaimed wizard from the Far East. Despite his pretentious appearance, his family name Azif was well known and even somewhat feared in certain occult circles, which gave his claims at least some credibility. He was gathering a group of adventurers to accompany him on a perilous quest. He had inherited a map from his late grandfather that was supposed to lead him to the infamous dungeons of Fear and Hunger itself. Let's go! This place used to be a noteworthy location of pilgrimage for many aspiring mages and priests in the distant past. The Yellow Mages you had spent time with previously told ominous tales about the dungeons as well. Initially, you dismissed Azif's talks only to be haunted by the most brutal nightmares on the following night. Something was calling for you. You had to witness the place yourself. Okay, initially you dismissed his talks, or dismissed him, then you got haunted by brutal nightmares on the following night, and then the dungeon was calling you to it. You joined the motley crew of adventurers Azif had managed to put together and travel through war-torn Europa. Most of the crew quit halfway to Rondon because of how difficult it was to cross borders during those chaotic times. The closer to the destination you got, the more feverish your dreams became. The remaining members of your ragtag fellowship were visibly sick from stress and otherworldly pressure that had befallen on you the moment you set out on your quest. The breaking point was the day you were to finally arrive at the dungeons. A heavy fog drowned your camp and made navigation impossible. Using a compass did no good, as the thing was just spinning circles wildly. Distant growls and howls created unrest. Not that there was any need for that, as superstition and constant misfortune had already convinced your fellow travelers that this trip was cursed from the start. Your companions panicked and scattered to the mists, as if himself had been sick from constant nightmares for half the trip already. You left him curled up in the fetus position in his tent and ventured forward on your own. After walking for a while, you started to make out something behind the thick white veil. The mist revealed structures of some kind. You got to a set of old ruins, or they looked more like a measly pile of rubble now. If it wasn't for the dreadful aura emanating from deep within, you can tell there was anything remarkable about this place whatsoever. Near the main entrance arc, there was a makeshift archaeological site with tents and digging equipment. The site looked abandoned. On the other side, there was a side entrance to the dungeons with stairs leading to the darkness below. Examine the tents, head to the main entrance, head to the side entrance. Make sure let's examine the tents first, right? If this is a choose your own adventure thing. Probably isn't, but I'm gonna do the tents first. The archaeological site seemed relatively new, maybe a couple years old at tops. There were no signs of people. Whoever had set it up had abandoned the place too. All the documents and report were written in Bremen, so you couldn't tell exactly what these people were looking for. This might have been just a regular archaeological excursion that stumbled into their certain doom unknowingly. If these truly were the dungeons of fear and hunger, then even in their current state they would surely swallow unprepared tourists whole. Near the main entrance arc, there was a makeshift archaeological site. Okay, so it is now choose your own adventure. You know, looked abandoned. Side entrance with stairs. Let's do side. That's what I did on my playthrough. Cautiously, you walked down the slippery stairs, only to find a cave-in. The hallway had totally collapsed, and there seemed to be no way around it. Buried under the rubble, there was an old skeleton in a medieval leather armor crushed under a ton of rocks. You didn't want to suffer the same fate with the skeleton, so you returned back. Near the main entrance arc, there was a makeshift. Yep. Main entrance. The moment you step inside the dungeon walls, you felt immense, otherworldly pressure. You understood that the place would drain any normal person to the brink of madness and starvation in a matter of mere hours. You had to be efficient about this. Even if the day was still bright, the darkness seemed to suffocate all light, and you could barely see anything ahead of you. You lit up a torch. You stood at the vestibule of the dungeons. To the left, you saw a doorway leading to what seemed like a kitchen. There was a small room with old wooden furniture in front of you, and to your right, there was a closed door. Alright, so I think we probably have to be fast. And if we aren't fast during this... Oh, we're getting some old Fear and Hunger 1 tracks. Check the door to left. Kitchen. With old... Let's go check the door out. Tried opening the door, but didn't budge. Consider forcing it, but then you heard faint noises coming from the other side. You could have sworn it sounded like something breathing heavy and alive was moving slowly towards the door. You had heard rumors of this place and you definitely didn't want to confirm whether there was any truth to these horror stories or not. Backed away from the door. The room had an old wooden desk in front of a partly rotten flag that hung on the wall. The flag was that of Old Rondon. The opposite wall had half-empty bookshelves facing towards you. Behind a small pile of rubble, you saw a wooden chest covered in cobwebs and dust. Let's go for the bookshelves. The few books that were still left were all in terrible condition. None of them looked interesting, but behind a large encyclopedia of torture you found an old wine vial. Ooh, wine. Suddenly you heard loud banging and screeching coming from the entrance hall. Adrenaline was rushing through you as you ran back to see what was causing the noise. The closed door was jolting from its hinges. Something big was trying to force its way through the door. Whatever it was created inhuman guttural sounds between its swings at the door. Ooh, we could wait and see what it is. I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna hide. You checked the room for any good spots to hide in and decided to crouch behind a bookshelf. The place gave you a good vantage point while hiding you in the shadows. The door crashed open. You saw a dark silhouette of a gigantic malform being pushed from the open doorway. The creature made gurgling noises as it slowly wandered into the kitchen. Used this chance to sneak past the thing to the dark corridor where it first came from. Only the creature had gotten used to the darkness as it sensed you the moment you got out of your hiding spot. You charged to the unknown darkness without a second thought. You ran as fast as you could, creating distance from the malformed beast with each step. You couldn't see much in the darkness, but a door frame that had light shining through its cracks caught your attention. You tackled the door open and stumbled to an overgrown courtyard. Quickly glancing back at the dark corridor, you noticed that the beast was nowhere to be seen. You figured the last rays of the setting sun kept it at bay. You took a breather and walked slowly across the yard. The grass had taken a sickly yellowish color, and the setting sun created ominous shadows as its rays hit the lone gallows standing at the center of the enclosure. So I think this is where you can jump down the well. As you managed to focus your thoughts, you realized that there was an additional voice echoing in your head. Something or someone was calling you from the depths of this forsaken fortress. There was something very curious about this echo. You needed to find its source. Not like you had a choice but to delve deeper as the sun was rapidly setting down, stripping you from the last barrier that kept the murderous beast hiding in the shadows. The courtyard led to another door to the darkness. You pushed forward. You were at the foyer of the dungeons. The hall was huge. To your left was a lavatory? Lavatory? To your right was a long corridor leading to total darkness. Before you was a large stairway up. Go to the lavatory. Torch lit up a row of grimy, old toilet seatings. Old blood stains were mixed with what looked like semen. You wondered how and why you knew such an exquisite little detail. So I'm pretty sure jumping in the toilet hole will kill me, and I think investigating it will make me vomit. So we're just gonna return. Let's do the corridor. Your torch slowly pushed away the darkness as you advanced towards the unknown. The further you got, the stronger the echo inside your head became. You couldn't make out the words clearly, but this was definitely the right direction to head. A larger room opened up behind a set of rusty iron bars. Your torch revealed human-like figures that stood just beyond the radius of light. Upon reaching inspection, you noticed that these figures were medieval iron maidens, human-shaped torture devices that had seen practical use judging from the old stains that had formed from the seeping blood of their victims. You can die during this first section. I feel you can. I feel like this is something that's possible. I don't know for sure though. The room had numerous other torture devices as well. Most of them would probably be inoperative in this day and age. Among them, you saw an old reinforced chest at the back of the room. You saw a corridor leading to the cells. And at the back of the room, yeah, okay. Let's check the chest. chest looked old. It might as well have been medieval for all you knew. As you tried opening it, you realized the lock was still fully functional. You couldn't open it without a proper key. You felt a cold draft run across the chamber. The draft seemed to be guiding you towards the dark corridor at the end of the room. Sure. Actually, foyer. You're with the foyer, large us all. Let's do the stairway. A white stairway led to an old Almerian sacrificial altar with a skeletal crucified to it. Next to the altar there was a side path leading deeper inside the fortress. Let's examine the altar. The altar was a typical ritual crucifix used to worship Almer, the Ascended One. A sacrifice would be put on the cross and their blood would slowly be drained for days to come. Traditionally, such rituals are used for protection. Almer would look after the immediate surroundings for as long as the blood was running down the cross. The last sacrifice this cross saw must have been the skeleton. There was no blood dripping from the cross anymore, so no protection from Almer either. Check the side path. The side path was a narrow corridor, crudely made from misshapen bricks and stones. It looked like the floor had collapsed at certain points, but you were able to hop over the trench with ease. A large room opened up before you. The room stood out with its finer decor, spiral floor tiling, and its many bookcases covering the walls. The southern corner of the room had a small doorway shrouded in darkness. The north end corner was more dilapidated with its caved-in ceiling and all. There's the bookshelves. Hey, Silver Dead Knight. Hey, Reckless. Hope you... I will. I hope you enjoyed as well. Most of the books that were still left had been growing mold for hundreds of years, but there were a handful of manuscripts that appeared surprisingly new. Like Skin Bible Grogroth, Skin Bible, or Skin Bible Sylvian. So we have one pyromantic trick, and we learned the dance, macabre, le dance macabre. You're playing Darkest Dungeons too? Cool. Is it as grindy as the first one? Let's just go full on Black Mage. You got Skin Bible, Grogroth. The manuscripts all seem to be part of a bigger compilation, and you would have loved to have all of them with you, but you had a job to do, and you couldn't burn yourself with too much extra luggage. A large room opened up before you. The room stood out with its fine decor. Yeah. Bookshelves. Check the doorway. Small room revealed a one desk with drawers. A carpet was from Eastern sanctuaries, judging by the patterns and partially eaten corpses that seemed to be part of the archaeological expedition. I'd say it is much better progression system for its grind. It's more of a roguelike feel to it now than just a pain simulator of terrible... Yeah, I played like 30 hours of Darkest Dungeon 1 during its early access, and the game was cool, but I kind of put it down, and then kind of when I saw like what the end game looked like, it's like, oh, I don't really want to do that. Like, okay, so maybe I'll take a look at some reviews, because I know a lot of the viewers of my channel are interested in that game based off YouTube analytics. Search the desk. The desk was trashed. Someone must have searched the desk. Most of the valuables had been looted long time ago already. Opening a drawer revealed only old and dusty letters of no importance. The bottom drawer, however, seemed to be stuck. Let's force it open. You kicked the drawer a couple of times and managed to force it open. A lucky coin rolled out of the drawer. Faint whining and moaning could be heard from the partially eaten archaeologist. The corpse was trying to get to its feet. As it stumbled, a group of keys fell from its lap. You picked up the prison keys. Slowly, one step at a time, the ghoul approached you with its mouth stretched unnaturally open. Attack with your staff. Hurting on it. Ignore it and return to the foyer. DD2 is much better. I'd say they changed it a lot better this time around, especially for the overall feel of multiple runs. I wasn't much of a fan of DD1, but you love DD2 now. Cool, cool. Alright, well maybe I'll run a dono goal for it after I get some RGB lights. Because it seemed right, it's still kind of pricey. Alright, I'm gonna try to run. Now, I would say run my ass away and return to the foyer. I don't like ignore it. I don't like that phrasing. You backed away from the ghoul, yet the ghoul kept on following you. You cautiously hopped over the collapsed floor in the middle of the corridor, leaned to the library. The creature was not as agile and face planted on the ground as it tripped on the rubble. The ghoul was waist deep in the trench, unable to climb back up. Desperately, he tried reaching for you, but with his blood-soaked hands. The whines and growls turned into agitated shrieks as it furiously tried to snatch you. It looked like the creature was stuck. You figure you best just leave the area for now and explore elsewhere. Alright, we got a coin. And keys. We just did stairway. That was the stairway, so dark corridor. Iron Maidens. You can open it without a proper key. Check the dark corridor. Loud creaks and groans could be heard behind you. Something big had just entered the foyer. You figured it must be the malformed archaeologist from before. The sun must have set, which made it possible for the creature to advance through the courtyard. The creature must have had your scent, as his footsteps clearly closed in on you at a rapid pace. You had to act fast. The corridor that opened up was a long one with multiple cell doors covering each side. At the end were large bars sealing a staircase. Only a rusty lock stood in your way towards the deeper dungeon. So we're not going to the torture chamber. With multiple cell doors covering. At the end were large bars sealing off a staircase. I feel if I go to investigate the cell doors, I'm gonna get beat up and punished. Because this, like, they made a point, like, it's on your tail, right? Like, so we're gonna check the gate at the end of the corridor and try to get out. You heard the creature trash the nearby torture chamber. He was right on your heels. You couldn't see him in the darkness, but you could sense his intense hatred homing in on you. The gate was locked with a reinforced lock. You tried to remain cool as you hoped for the prison keys to work. The beast was already charging towards you as you opened the gate and slipped inside, only seconds before the maul creature smashed against the bars. Violently, the creature tried to reach you while making low, grunting noises from his swollen, meaty, sweaty, vascular throat. The bars and gate seemed to hold the beast for now. You didn't want to stay and find out whether the thing would eventually break in. Instead, you took the steps deeper to the darkness. The thought crossed your mind. If darkness had twisted these poor sods to become mindless beasts, would the same fate await you if you stayed in the dungeons for long enough? The stairs became sticky from old gore and blood the deeper you got. The air was stale and had a rotten smell to it. I feel you could have just said the air was stale and rotten, you know? Because then you think more about it, right? And you kinda... The voice inside your head got louder. You couldn't make sense of any of the words, but it was definitely calling for you. Deeper. You had to go deeper. That much was clear. Well, if they want me to go deeper, I'll go deeper. You entered a huge chamber full of partially buried skeletons and rotting corpses laying about. The ground had a thick layer of dried blood and filth which had accrued around the chamber walls over the years. Each step you took echoed to dizzying heights. You couldn't see the chamber ceiling. The walls just rose up forever to the darkness. There were two staircases in the chamber. One led to the ground level you had just escaped, while the other led to lower levels. In the middle of the chamber, there was a rather new-looking wooden contraption. Excellent. Good, good. Listen. Listen to my description of throats. And the dungeon telling me to go deeper. Alright, so two staircases and one lead to the ground level you just escaped, while the other led to the lower levels in the middle of a relatively new wooden contraption. Alright, we're gonna go up. We're going full explore. You walked up the stairs. The screams of the malformed archaeologist got louder and louder until you saw this thing still banging on the gate relentlessly. The gate hinges were starting to get loose. It seemed like the creature could have broken it at any moment. You decided to head back down while you still could. Okay, you know, I don't know. It was kind of nice there. What if we, examine the pile of the dead bodies? Most of the bodies have been decaying and decomposing for hundreds of years. Some bodies looked fresher than the others, while some were reduced to bare skeletons. The ludicrous amount of corpses did raise questions about the purpose of this chamber, but there was no one around to answer those questions anymore, so you just took everything at face value. Examine the contraption. You didn't notice the gaping hole at the center of the chamber until you got close and the torch lit up the surroundings. The wooden contraption had been built as a freight elevator of sorts, lifting and lowering items and people if necessary. So if we're so in theory we could be in the mines where there was the lifting thing, and that's how you got into the Grogoth orgy pit. But I don't think this is it, because I think we're still in like the proper dungeon, like the building. The contraption itself stuck out. Oh wait, is this the elevator we take to the mines? The contraption itself stuck out just by not being stained with blood and filth like everything else. Judging by some of the equipment around, the elevator must have been used by the same archaeological expedition team that set up the tents outside. Or it's a new thing and not everything is from the first game. You could have used the contraption yourself too if you had some rope with you. Oh, maybe I'll ooh, maybe if I checked the cells I could have got ropes. I will warn Termina is not the same as with the first one. There's a lot more ways to die, and even time isn't on your side. Poggies. So, caution and speed. Take the stairs down. The stairs leading down were sticky with the grime, like everything else in that chamber. A cold draft moved you along to the chasm that awaited you at the bottom. A giant underground ravine opened up before you. Even your torch couldn't properly light up the area. There were iron grid platforms suspended above a seemingly bottomless chasm. The platforms were mounted on cavern walls and linked together with a shaky-looking bridge. The side you were on had a few individual prison cells in a row that awaited on the other side of the bridge were shrouded in darkness. Okay, yeah, so I think this is the prison cell area where we had the giant serpent statues. Let's examine the ravine. The grid platforms looked old and rusty. The platforms gave worrisome creaks as you walked on them. The fact that parts of the platform had already collapsed didn't exactly reassure you of their condition. Hadn't already, there's an extra space there, I think. A giant underground ravine opened up before you. Even your torch couldn't properly light up the area. There were iron grid platforms, yeah. The prison cells. But all of them appear locked. Some of the locks were too rusty to function properly anymore. There appeared to be no way inside the bars. Not that you missed anything important. The torchlight revealed just regular prison utilities like piss buckets, chains, and a couple of skulls belonging to previous residents. A giant underground, yeah. Walk. Alright, let's walk. You cautiously walked up to the bridge. Just putting some weight on the thing causes a couple of nuts and bolts to fall down to the endless steps. You braved across it. The bridge felt like it was going to collapse at any moment, but somehow it remained together. The side of the ravine was more or less identical to the one where you just came in. There were 3 cells in a row. At the end of the platform, there was a corridor leading away from the ravine to solid ground. Back to prison cells. They were all locked. One in particular caught your attention. There was a huge naked creature inside. Its features looked human, but the person must have at least been 2.5 meters tall, if not more. It should be a period, right? Not a comma. The upper body of the thing was shrouded in darkness. For a moment, you thought the creature was still breathing, but you figured it must have been a flickering torch. Must have been just a flickering torch creating illusions, surely. Oh yeah, surely, right? Like, I'm already being chased by a giant monster. I've seen a zombie. I'm gonna delude myself that, oh no, there's not another monster that's breathing in this cell. Come on, come on. You walked away as quietly as possible, regardless. Purcell's corridor. Yeah, to the corridor. The corridor took you to a small intersection. To your left, there was a doorway to a small room. To your right, the corridor continued deeper to the darkness. Check the small room. The room looked like it had once belonged to an army officer. There were numerous weapon racks in the room positioned next to an empty shelf. At the back end of the room, there was a wooden desk with an impressive-looking leather recliner behind it. Behind the desk, you noticed a small cast iron chest and what seemed like a rusty lever. Oh, hello, Black Mage 665. Did you also hear the summons of the Dungeon of Fear and Hunger? Or did the bell icon notification on YouTube awake you? Let's check the weapon racks. There were a few wooden swords and spears still left on the rack. It looked like there might have been more, but looters had probably taken everything that looked half decent and valuable. One of the swords was in complete rubbish, and one of the spears appeared to be surprisingly good. You couldn't carry both around, but you didn't want to over-encumber yourself either way, after all. Like spear, sword, spear. You heard distant chains rustle by the chasm. Seems like the small commotion caused by explosion reached the ears of someone or something. Army officer, blah blah blah, leather recliner. Let's check the desk. Or chest. The chest had a thick and durable looking lock. It must have been just that too, as it had survived the test of time and undoubtedly a myriad of looters. So we're doing our flashback to dictate our past. So currently our character is in the Dungeon of Fear and Hunger from the first game, and we're looting through it, kind of choose your own adventure style. Yeah, so on the train ride we're like going through it all, but we're also deciding our backstory. You tried forcing it open, both no luck. If all the thieves from past several hundred years had given up on the chest, it would have been very unlikely that it was you who would have finally been able to break it. Loud creak echoed from the ravine. The dungeons were dead silent, apart from the small ruckus caused by you going through the officer's room. Whatever still lived in the darkness could hear you loud and clear. Okay, we're gonna have to mess something up probably, so let's just get our full loot and then we fight. The desks and its drawers had been ransacked long ago already. Instead, you tried looking for things that were less obvious to common thieves and treasure hunters. You examined the bottom of the desk and found a hidden trapdoor. A pipe and torch full of tobacco fell from the hidden compartment. You heard an ear-piercing screech. It sounded like a cell door was just forced open. Steady scraping sounds closed in on you as you felt a terrifying presence advance in the darkness. Okay, well, let's hide. Let's hide behind the desk. And try. Alright, we hid. Try to get a decent vantage point as the scraping noises grew louder and louder. A huge humanoid creature entered the room. The thing was naked, revealing its abnormally muscular and scarred physique. Its left arm was missing, replaced with what looked like a long pole or rod full of thorns and other sharp projections. No, not Chromaller, not Chromaller. This isn't fair. I killed you. I killed you. The most striking feature, however, in this abomination was its head. The creature had a head of a crow. Dun dun dun. And it was not just a mask, the feathers were growing down its neck too. Its empty, glaring eyes seemed to stare right through you from the darkness of the doorway. The crow gave a loud caw that was mixed with a deep, resonating growl of an anguished man. This was all the warning you got as it charged straight at you. The creature swung furiously at you with its left mauler arm. I will cast Hurting on it. You didn't even have time to start chanting the spell as the mauling arm crushed you against the floor. The creature knew perfectly well how to utilize the dreadful weapon as its thorns and spikes scraped the skin of your back. You were surprised by the mercy shown as the crow finished you quickly with just one additional swoop that broke your spine. Looks like your journey ended before it could even properly begin. I knew it. I knew it. I called it. You can die in the thingy. Okay, friends. So, 35 minutes in. We're gonna give it another go. Actually, wait, no, we're 50 minutes in because I forgot to set the corn properly. So, if you've enjoyed the stream this far, click like and consider subscribing for more gaming goodness. We're gonna be doing a little Fear and Hunger 2 in 1 still, and you know, maybe some other jazz. I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break just to get some more liquids. I ran out of happy juice. Yeah, so altruism is gone. We can die in the tutorial. I'm gonna go through it way quicker on the next time. So yeah, okay. I've returned. Let us begin again. That nice old Persona style character select thingy. Yellow Mage. Go with Tempest. In all caps. Fear and Hunger mode. Alright, I'm not gonna be reading as much. Full text version abridged. I really want to do the full text. This is my brain damage. Once I've died once, you know, we gotta try again. Full text. So basically, you know, we're gonna do our little flashback. Episonia, you know, worships gods. Europa has the great wars. We leave our family. I'm gonna take Chok Chok with me. I consider cringe edge line. We tried learning stuff in Amon, but they sucked. So I'm going to go to the Eastern Sanctuaries. I learned Pyromancy trick. We're gonna meet the true baller Yellow Mages. And then we'll meet a dude who will be like, yo, we're gonna go to the dungeon of Fear and Hunger. We're gonna learn basic techniques just to get the Le Dance Macabre. So we have fire magic, we have the dance. Get to the ruins. Everyone sucks. Spam intense. Main entrance. Kitchen. Cupboards. Old wheat flour. Loud bang and screeching come from the entrance hall. Adrenaline was rushing through you as you ran back to see what was causing the noise. The door was jolting from its hinges. Something big was trying to force its way through. Whatever was created in human thingamadooter. Let's see what happens if we run outside. You turned around and considered leaving the darkness. However, you feared that you might never be able to return there if you had left the place. So just to achieve what you set out to do, you decided to say, as bad as the idea felt to you. You ran as fast as you could, gain distance to the malformed creature. With each step, you couldn't see much in darkness. Okay, so we just got through to the courtyard. So I only found flour. I think we found something better before. So now we're in the next area, sun setting. Lavatory didn't have anything. Stairway. Check the side path. And again, there was just so much reading last time, right? Small door shut in darkness. Search bookshelves. I do want that skin Bible. Also, but you had a job to do, yeah. Large room opened up, check the doorway. Search the desk. Force it open. Lucky coin. Faint whining and moaning could be heard from the partially eaten archaeologist trying to get up. Picked up prison keys. Ignored and returned to the foyer. The corridor. Yeah, it's like we're getting closer. Iron Maiden room. All you knew. Lock was still fully functional. Check the dark corridor. Greeks forming. Oh yeah, the archaeologist is mad. Archaeologist must have my scent. Check the gate at the end. Because the prison cell doors, I think, are just normal. Violently, the creature tried to reach for you while making low grunting noises from its swollen throat. The gate held. Alright, so now we're back to the area where we died, right? Instead, if you took the stairs deeper to the darkness, the thought crossed your mind if darkness had with, yeah. Stairs became sticky, rot and stuff everywhere. Voices in your head get bigger. Have to go deeper. Insert giggity joke. Chamber full of partially buried skeletons and corpses. You can see the ceiling. Wait, no, this isn't quite it. Stairs up takes us to the captain room. The screams of the malformed archaeologist got louder and louder until he saw the thing banging on the gate relentlessly. It's time to get loose. It seemed like the creature could have broken it at any moment. He decided to head back down while he still could. Alright, we're gonna go down now. Take the stairs down. Underground ravine, open up even your torch. Nothing's in these prison cells, so let's walk over the bridge. Bridge is super creaky. This prison door has the super tall, muscular person. I think this is I don't think this is Chromaller because they didn't describe the arm. Corridor. To a small intersection to your left, there's a doorway to a small room, and to the right, continue deeper. Back the small room. Army officer. Check the lever. It looked like a mechanical lever control something. You tried pulling it, but it was stuck. It wouldn't even budge a little. It was a curious little thing, but its purpose would remain a mystery to you. You heard distant chains rattle by the chasm. Seems like the small commotion caused by exploration had reached the ears of something or someone. Oh yeah, also Chromaller in Fear and Hunger 1, right, was like the guy in charge of the dungeon became the Crow Mauler. So I guess we're in his room. Return to the corridor. The corridor took you to a small intersection. To the door to the left, there was the door to a small room. To the right, the corridor. Alright, let's just head deeper to the darkness. So, we've skipped the officer's room. We don't have a fancy sword. You torch pushed away the darkness. The dancing light flickered on a lone skeleton chained on the wall. The corridor circled back to the great chasm and its suspended platforms. The gird iron bridge connecting the two sides had completely collapsed on this side of the ravine. You notice a rope tied to the platform. On the other end of the rope, you saw a corpse belonging to the archaeological expedition. The person had apparently uninstalled. The horrors of the dungeon must have been too much for them. Lift up the corpse. You pulled the corpse up. You ran your assessment. The person had modern clothing that looked like that of a stereotypical Western archaeologist. You know, those stereotypical Western archaeologists with their blazers and, you know, their I don't know what these people wear. Cargo pants, maybe. Percent nothing of value. You did pick up the rope though. So I know back we could use the rope. The gird iron bridge connecting the sides that completely collapsed on this end of the ravine. There was nothing here apart from the corpse you had pulled up. Let's just examine the corpse. Found nothing of value. Examine the ravine. You saw faint shapes in the darkness. The platform seemed to continue on the other side. God knows how large this man-made area really was. Gotta head back. Your footsteps were the only thing echoing in the air apart from occasional water dropper in the distance as you headed back. On the doorway to the small room on your right and in the area of you, area cells, go check out the cells. As you walked into the platform, you heard loud screeching from one of the cells. The noise seemed to come up from the cells at the end of the platform. Something trapped inside was causing the ruckus. A large humanoid burst through the cell door. Yep, Crow Mauler breaks out. Try to slip by it. You couldn't help but take a few steps back. That strong was the killing intent emanating from the thing. Try to slip by it. Try to slip past the creature. First you dodged another swing coming your way and then leaped on the annexing bridge, just barely escaping beyond the crow's reach. You ran across the bridge. The creature followed hot on your tail. The shaking bridge clattered under your feet. Just as you made it on the other side, the whole thing fell to pieces. No, Crow Mauler, no! The hulking mass of the Crow Mauler was too much for the antique construction. The creature slumped down to the endless chasm with the collapsing parts and pieces. You were standing on a gird iron platform that suspended above the dark ravine that opened up below you. The bridge had linked the platform to the side that collapsed entirely with the crow. The side you were on only had a few individual prison cells in a row, and a stairway leaned back up to whence you initially came. Check the cells. All of them appear locked. Some of the locks were too rusty. Not that you miss anything, just regular prison utensils. The bridge remains. You walk to the bridge remains and look down. The chasm was deep, very deep. Surely the creature could not have survived the fall. That's what you kept saying to yourself anyways. Yeah. I'll return to the upper floor chamber. As you walked up, you once again heard the echo inside your head. Deeper, you must delve deeper. The cracked path must have been somewhere in the bloody chamber. So we examine the contraption. We can use the rope. You didn't notice the gaping hole at the center of the contraption or chamber until you got closer, and your torch lit up the surroundings. The wooden contraption had been built around it as a freight elevator of sorts, lifting, lowering items and people if necessary. The contraption itself stuck out just by not being stained with blood and filth like everything else. Judging by some of the equipment around, the elevator must have been used by the same archaeological expedition that had set up tents outside. If you had some rope. Oh, I do have rope. You tied the rope tightly to the wooden beams and threw loose the loose end down to the pit. A cool draft could be felt coming up from the depths below. You headed down. You climbed down the claustrophobic, bloody pit that the pit opened up, and the area that revealed itself was even more than the ravine upstairs. There's a huge cavern beneath the fortress ruins. The rope ended up on top of a crashed wreckage. An iron cage had crashed on the rocky ground from the pit you had come from. A closer inspection suggested that it was an elevator of some kind. Needless to say, it wasn't functioning anymore. You sit on solid ground next to the wreckage. The cavern was huge, no period. Your torchlight left you standing in the middle of darkness with no point of interest apart from a makeshift campsite with a couple of tents and some archaeological equipment. The frame of the elevator had been bent from the fall. There was still a broken chain hanging from the roof. The chain must have lifted and lowered the elevator when necessary. Yeah. Check the campsite. As you walked up to the tents, you noticed that there were no signs of life there. The archaeology crew is gone. Yeah, okay. The campsite had a couple of tents side by side, open crates full of digging equipment, and a makeshift table of various documents scattered around. Around the camp, you found a larger digging site. Check out the tents. The first tent had sleeping bags and what? Oh, clothing scattered about. Along the useless trunk, you managed to find 5 matches. I read that as machetes at first. Second tent was mostly the same, except there was a collection of archaeological findings on the table. Your initial excitement, after your initial excitement, you noticed, however, that those findings were only run-of-the-mill artifacts, pieces of broken vases, and other trinkets of no use. Among the junk, you picked up an ornament lantern. The campsite, yeah, tents, documents. Were Brinton and Brennan, Freeman, this can make sense of them, very official looking, maybe even from the Kaiser. Oh my god, Poggies. Are the Bremens Germans? Or Russians? A report documented each item from the digging site. There were pictures of said items etched on paper. Items looked mundane for most parts, but all of them had carvings on them that were unlike anything you had seen before. Germans. Poggies. They didn't match with any culture you were aware of. One document caught your interest especially. It had a sketch of a cubic object with various ornaments and sigils carved around it. Ooh, could it be the Cube of Depths? Something about this item raised the hair on your arms and made you sick from your stomach. There was something special about this cube, no doubt about it. The campsite had a couple of tents side by side, open crates full of digging, blah blah blah. We did this, we did this, we did this. Go to the digging site. Was bigger than it looked initially. Why do they keep fucking doing this? It's like, oh, the first time you saw it, it was this, but now it is this. Just say it's this. Like, why does everything have to be a surprise for my character's initial observations? The site expanded to nearby cliffs with wooden platforms leading down to a dark chasm. Campsite. The cavern was huge, points of interest with a couple of tents. Head to the darkness. You started walking. Gotta get that shock value, right? Yeah, everything's... Whoa. You started walking to the darkness with your torch working as though it's just a light. As you walked away from the wreckage, a voice echoing inside your head became more distant. The further you got, the more aggravated it got, too. Whatever was the source of these voices obviously didn't want you to go this way. Alright, we're going back to the wreckage. I don't want to die. Campsite. Digging site. Okay, campsite. Digging site. Wooden platforms. You descended down to the dark depths. The echo inside your head returned once again. Misguided soul, can't you hear my call? The words were clear this time around. Good. Finally, the voices became more clear. More clearer. Couldn't just be clearer. That's too fine, right? I'm pretty sure English is their second language, so they still maintain the everything being not what it is upon observation is silly though. The archaeology crew had been digging deep and revealed something that should have stayed hidden. Ancient structures could clearly be seen protruding from the rocky surface. The structures almost looked like the remains of a city from another time. The wooden platforms took you straight to them, and a ladder was set to lead you inside what looked like a temple or some other place of worship. Yeah, we covered this in Fear and Hunger 1. I will not say what it is, because it's a little spoilery, I think. You climb in. Most of the temple was dilapidated by the time, but you could still spot some murals on the wall that depicted rituals and gods not known in this day and age. Even if you only witnessed glimpses of something larger, the scale of the building already impressed you. It was like anything you had ever seen. Eastern sanctuaries, the city of Amon, Abyssonia, they all paled in comparison. Voice in your head was getting loud. This way, this way, this way. You dug the rubble with your bare hands. You turned over wooden structures and pushed away a stone pillar. And there it was, the source of the voice. Dude just pushing away a stone pillar like fucking Hercules. And there you found it, a burnt and withered head, a severed head to be more precise. The head had deep lines running across it. In the place of its eyes were dark and empty sockets. The only hair on the head was a sparse mustache under its big nose. I remember this person. I wasn't expecting a worm like you weaseling its way this deep to the dungeon, but I'll take what I can get. All earthworms do, after all, is dig. Surprised no exclamation point there. Your garments humph. Maybe you do have more than a camel's spunk in place of your brains. You are a Yellow Mage, are you not? You confirmed the suspicions of this beheaded oddity. Figures. That is why a measly maggot like yourself could hear my call. Very well. Kneel before me, for I am your master, Nasara, the doom and terror of the modern man. That name, Nasara. That was the name you were not expecting to hear. It was a name even the Yellow Mages only talked in the darkest hours of the night. Nasara, the bringer of the burning crusade. Nasara, the bringer of torment. Nasara, the doom and terror of the modern man. The great wizard from the Eastern Sanctuary went by many titles. He indeed was your master, for this beheaded wizard was the only one who gave birth, to the Yellow Mages and their ideology. Only that had happened over 1,000 years earlier. There were no records of Nasara for at least 500 years. Kia. You are a lucky bastard. Lucky indeed. There's a man I wanted skinned alive. After that, I want to rip off their spines. Those maggots, they will slump before me limp and feeble. Your master seemed to be surprisingly up to date with the twists and turns of the world had taken since his absence. He had a mission for you. As a Yellow Mage, you were supposed to follow your own ambitions and greed. There was a lot you could learn from this death-defying wizard that could further your knowledge on dark matters greatly. Hey. Educate yourself, buddy. He's greater than a wizard. You decided to play along. You were sure that this terror of the modern man was perfectly aware of your reasoning too. This was the typical relationship between a master Yellow Mage and their apprentice after all. Much like the Sith from Star Wars. There's a master and an apprentice. One to embody power and one to strive for it. The problem is, Nasara doesn't have a lot on him, so I can't really... There's not much for me to consume to gain the strength of. You were to travel to a small country in the Eastern Europa with the beheaded wizard, to a town called Prehevil. Prehevil? Your master promised events of cosmic proportions. The stars were aligned for something big to happen. What a, what a grandiose way of saying it. Something big is happening. The stars. Something that would turn the tides of the world for good. For good or for ill? The head left out details from his story on purpose, but that did little to bother you. You had just jumped to the deep end of the otherworldly world. You couldn't have asked for more. With this little knowledge, about the task at hand, how did you prepare? Medical goods? Food? Or magical goods? So, I know a certain Silver Dead Knight was like, game is harder, but I am gonna base a little off the first Fear and Hunger. I don't remember food being too bad, but I did pick medium difficulty, not easy. So that leaves me to medical or magical. I'm not a healer, so I'm gonna go with medical, because I died to a lot of status effects. Specifically infections. 2 blue vials and a cloth fragment. Okay, so blue vials heal HP. Cloth fragments, I believe, stop bleeding and make torches. Not that this game will tell me it. You felt tense since the moment you embarked on this journey. Every night, you'd see nightmares of the horrors that would await you in Prehevil. Whatever the price, the opportunity was too interesting to pass. With mixed feelings, you continued onwards. Interesting? I don't know. Our character is, like, so ambitious. You know? Like, it's not like, oh, fast. It's not like the Spock. You know? Like, they want power. Like... Yeah, I would say, like, the opportunity was too, like, great to ignore. No, I'm not skipping any intros. I just went through the long tutorial. Whoa, 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 whoa. She just made a pentagram. You felt like someone was watching you while you slept. You hear voices echoing from the beheaded wizard. We're in his radius now. Better not let me down. I feel Nasserau would have called me like a maggot or something. Oh, shit. Alright, so F5 is the reload. Nope. Alright, give me a minute. I did Uber this up. Oh no, there we go. Okay, weird. Never mind, we're fine. We're fine. Alright, continue. I'm surprised I can't, use WASD. I was trying to get the control scheme up. So some little troublemaker set a pentagram. But like someone was watching you while you slept. You hear voices echoing. We're in his radius. Alright. I'm not gonna walk there just yet. Can't read that, can't read that. You can see a misty forest from the tainted window. Alright, tainted windows. Curly-haired man. Excuse me. No answer. I'm not triggering that trap until I have to. Old and interesting pamphlet. Oh. I should be able to steal from these suitcases. Door to the previous cabin is locked. Looking through the window, the cabin seems pitch black. Oh no, does the light of my torch not pierce the darkness of the cabin? Unseen. I'm locked in. Alright. Despair not explode. Alright, nothing bad happened. This time. Salary man. Just assuming he's on a salary. Search the luggage. You found a Berman Elite helmet. Yo, why can I rummage through this, but not the other one? Party talk. Check up on your party. Why do I have damage on me? Burn. Ritual dance used to channel otherworldly powers. Be used by the performer. Raises otherworldly powers gradually over the course of the fight. A passive skill. A dried and burned severed head. The face is forever left in a spiteful grimace. The head is not without purpose, though. Some kind of power in it reflects otherworldly attacks occasionally. Can't believe I have Nasara as a accessory. Chuck chuck. A seemingly simple shaker instrument. The combination of the pebbles inside and the various pearls tied onto it create a hypnotic rhythm that helps one focus on the otherworldly. Plus 20 magic attack. Let's go. Fuck that soulstone. And helmet. Plus 5 defense. And I don't have the sword. I have a knife though. I had a staff during the encounter, but I guess I don't have it anymore. Weird. Okay, so yeah, I liked this layout a lot more. We'll do the controls, the audio later. Actually, wait a minute. Let's try to run this game at max volume. Audio. Melody. Sound effects were super loud in this game. Oh, there's a hidden volume. Okay, yeah. No recipes. Equipment. New skills. Oh my god, they categorize things this time. What a genius. A strong occult book written in the medieval times by Enki and Carrion. Chapter explains the older god, Grogroth. Cool. Whoa, we can walk diagonally. This game's broken. It's overpowered. Alright, so now that we've tweaked that, I can lower my volume a dab. And I should be loud. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna go here. Yeah, I always read machetes. Yeah, so I like the WSAD key layout because my like joints hurt if I hold any directions down too long on either hand, so I rotate. Talisman raises defense against otherworldly powers momentarily, but it might have some other uses as well, so we're just gonna hold on to it. I really don't like the menu layout being the sprite. Like most of the game is so dark and then you just get blinded by the menu. Kinda cringe. All a suitcase is something feels off. We're going to be attacked by suitcases. Is he, now that we are in his radius, going to summon monsters? Suitcase monsters? Suitcase monsters that shoot bees when they open? Whoa, this is... I'm not gonna lie, this is a lot of suitcases. This is, I feel no longer a reasonable amount of suitcases. We are entering the land of suitcases. Workshop. This place, it is not the train anymore. Janitor, you. I've been looking for you everywhere. Just where did you think you ran off to? You understand the hurry we're in? I don't understand. The eyes of the janitor bulge out from their sockets as his expression intensifies. I imagine like actual like bloop 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 bloop. No one expects you to. You are a stupid fucking human after all. Now get your ass back to the workbench. This is your last chance. Next time it's punishing time. What am I supposed to do? What? You're supposed to assemble you cubes, of course. As for how, figure it out yourself. If you're not capable of that much, you're beyond hope and useless in every sense of the word. What you googling at? There's nothing to see here. Eyes on the cubes. Frick, I'll rip those eyes out of your pretty face. Girl in pink, dot dot dot. Use the directional keys to assemble cubes. You hear voices from inside your head. Are you retarded or what? Why the hell are you playing their games? Okay. Nothing's happening. Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay, so W-A-S. W-A-S. The girl in pink is trying to get your attention. It's like, yo, let's blow this popsicle stand. The table is full of cubes from various sigils, with various sigils carved all around them. The cubes are hollow though. They seem to be missing some parts though. There's only darkness ahead. You can't go back. Where do you think you're going? No, 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 no. I'm sailing away. Your head hurts. You feel like you're losing your mind. Ooh. Robert Garrett has just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. Much appreciated. This is the normal type of subscription, right? We're still on YouTube. Whatever. Or is it here? Maybe it was a misclick. Who knows? Alright, we have escaped the janitor. Oh no, this is the bad place. This is where the gods tried talking to us before. So is that Francis? Francois? The tormented one? Is the middle one the god of enlightenment? And then I forget the other one's name. Alright, let's click on the tormented one. Doesn't do anything. Can we go under the table and get a peek? My brain, it broke. Oh. It is he whose radius we have entered. That's the moon. That's the moon on the cover. Mysterious person. Ah, there you are. Moon. It must be the moon god, you ponder. You've read about vague tales about it during your time at the Amon libraries. You pulled out from that nasty place. You were going deep inside into that rabbit hole. And true. Now you're safe under the green hue of the moon. Yeah, so I think that was like... That wasn't, you know, the place of the gods we were at before. I think that's like where all the gods go. That might have been a god graveyard for all I know. Is this real or just a nightmare? Oh, it's hardly it. Oh, it hardly is a nightmare. You just need to adjust your perspective accordingly and it will be anything but a nightmare. Since our words cannot possibly reach my master, I speak in his behalf. And who might my master be? Well, for now, let's just say that he is the delinquent one. We're here, the trickster moon god. For her? We're here? For her? For her? The trickster moon god. You knew it. And me? You can call me Per Kelly? Perkella? Kelly? I'm just a humble servant of his celestial majesty. Per Kelly, the name does not sound familiar, but you are not sure where you've heard it before. Oh, it does sound familiar. You are the dreamer. He is the dream. This is some Twin Peaks level reference here. We are all inside a dream. My masters invited 14 of you to join us in this jubilee of cosmic proportions. 14 candidates, but only one true victor. The festival of Termina is upon us. Termina? Terminus means end. Termina, you finally remember where you've heard the name of Per Kelly before. The deity is often linked with the so-called Festival of Termina. Information about the festival is murky, but it's often associated with times of great turmoil. Many massacres in history have been blamed on this deity and the moon. Horrible acts have been committed in the name of lunacy. You can't remember much else. The moon god in general is shrouded in great mystery and his ways are often left unexplained. What is this festival of Termina? It's a festival to give you, the humans, a peek to grandeur and a chance to reach for illustrious heights. The festival to end all festivals. This must be all very confusing to you, so I won't burn you with any more exposition and information at this very moment. If you progress further, I will gladly answer questions later down the road. Let us meet again under the moonlight. So at the end of day 1? Are we beginning day 1? Is this the end of day 0? Was this all in my mind? Maybe. You hear voices echoing from the beheaded wizard. Wake up, Maggot. The train, it seems to have stopped. You hear voices echoing from the beheaded wizard. I trust you got the gist of things. Let us proceed. We have work to do. You hear voices echoing from the beheaded wizard. Something seems off, though. This is not Moon God's usual modus operandi. Gonna be the Moon God's usual modus operandi. Trust no one, but me, obviously. As long as you do what I say, I don't actually care about this trust part either. Now, move it, make it. Give me 20. Door locked. Seems pitch black. Oh, we have stamina. See? See? This is not the land of the suitcase. These seats are perfectly suited for resting. You just need to clear out all the papers first. You find combat manual and Prehevil map. Wow. Alright, we're gonna go back. Because apparently there might be good stuff. Just gotta double check, like that paper there. Maybe it could be something. It is nothing. This paper? Nothing. This paper? Nothing. I did click these. Alright. Empty suitcase. There's still some lone socks and panties inside, suggesting that someone left in a hurry. The man in the suit is talking to himself. He seems to be completely lost in his own thoughts. I'm late already. So late. Smooge. Man with checkered pants. So that'd be the bloke standing southwest in the image. So that must be the best course of action for now. You interrupt the discussion. You hear a voice, blah blah blah. What's the shit show now? Oh, the sleepy one got up. Is something wrong? You must be just as clueless as the rest of us. The train left us all here at the outskirts of the city. All the train personnel, everyone gone, no explanations. I'm gonna do ... In any case, we decided to stay and wait for a while. Someone has to come for the train sooner or later. So, maybe if you're not in a hurry, maybe you can just take a seat inside and try and relax. Your outfit, it looks interesting. Hey, Jerhal, how's it going? Who are you? I'll do it. You are their doom and torment, an embodiment of chaos, a pupil to the terror of the modern man. My name is Marina. Good, good. But a child trying to play with magic. Pathetic. My name is Olivia. Lovely to meet you all. A poor sod, a measly librarian waiting to be devastated. You can call me August. Keep an eye on this one. Karen Sauer, a journalist on duty. I already sense this bitch is an arrogant piece of filth. Yo, that was gonna be my second option. You can't be like this. Hey, I'm Henrik. A weakling with no remarkable feature whatsoever. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 more to go. This mega carries filthy secrets. Dig him up. Before you came out, we were talking about this. You saw the dream too, right? No. You didn't see it? Everyone saw the same dream before waking up in the train. The moon, the girl in the pink dress, the festival of Termina. It all felt too real to just pass off as a dream, and yet you called it a dream. You called it a dream. Seems like you're mislabeling things. Karen? We should have asked that army pig, that Bremen pig. He was in way too much of... Aaron, he was in a way too much of a hurry to leave. I bet he knew something. This smells like a sadistic army experiment. Sounds exactly like something Bremen army would be part of. That's similar hallucinogenics experimented on war prisoners. Now that the war is over, they have to get their guinea pigs somewhere else. Miserable fool. When are people this dim-witted? They don't even deserve to learn the truth. Wish I had your capacity and feist, but oh, this is the doctor, right? Is this the doctor or the mercenary? I really have a hard time believing every conspiracy theory floating around. I'm a journalist. I've covered wars, you know. I don't need some flaky eye patch foreigner telling me what's possible and what's not. You haven't seen what I've seen during the past few years. I am the war. I am the war. I've covered wars too, you know. All men and women for the past decade or two have covered wars. What's your point again? I've seen my fair... Okay, it's a doctor. Okay. I've seen my fair share of hallucinogens as a doctor, and I can tell you from a first-hand experience that there are no known chemicals that create visions that vivid. Especially visions that are identical with this many people. Deep sigh. Okay, we're done here. As much as I'd like it, I don't have time to play happy campers with you people. I have a job to do. Which way is the city? That way. Look up there, over the forest top. Can you see the tower standing erect, glistening, vainously in the mist? The tower marks the center of Prehevil? 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 You can hike through the forest to get there. It's not that far off. Alright, Karen, we're going together. Dun 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 dun. Alright then. If I see anyone, I'll let them know you guys are waiting here. Have fun finding a scoop from that sleepy town. Enough of this nonsense. We need to get going, or start killing. Either one is fine by me. What are you going to be doing? You know where to find us if anything comes up. What are you going to be doing? What are you going to do? Shrug. Wait here, I guess. I'm not in a hurry. One. Day one? Day one. Monologue with the moon. Hello there. Marina, the sleepy one. What's your story? Attacker, what are you doing? Locked. Locked. I just want to save. I want to save. Locked. Why would it look pitch black? It's daylight outside. Too complicated for just a few lines of dialogue. What brings you here? It's my hometown. I'm originally from Prehevil. But I'd never admit in a conversation that I was from such a depressing and godforsaken small town. So you'll only make yourself look stupid if you go spreading the word. I thought it was a medium-sized city. Where are you returning from? From studies. I've been studying occultism for about 6 years in the Vatican City. Feel like slitting my wrists right about now. I'm not exactly a fan of the Prehevilan melancholy. What are you doing? Just felt a little artistic. Actually, I hate drawing. I'm really bad at it. Luckily, ritual circles don't require the same skills. Are you gonna stay here and wait? Probably not. Be heading towards the town soon if nothing happens here. It's kind of cool. You can just start, like, blasting people, you know? Hey, babe. Oh, hi. We weren't introduced before. I'm Abella. Nice to meet you. I'm a bit busy right now. I'm trying to check if I could get the train working and work in order again. It's just not that the train stopped, but for some reason it won't start up either. What are you doing? Just checking up on things. Smooch. Would you look at that behind? Are you dead serious? If you keep that up, I'll come up with better uses for this wrench. How about making yourself useful? Oh, poor Henrik. Just wait and see, Ginger. Yes, go make me proud. Olivia, I think I should get inside. The mist is creeping me. Can we talk about the dream? Yes, of course. What do you think the dream means? Maybe it was a premonition. I really hope not. I don't want to see that place ever again. Something more. Ah, never mind. Smooch. Nice day, isn't it? Bit foggy. True enough. But it's peaceful in its own right, don't you think? I agree. Let's get those, reputation points, maybe. Maybe this game has a reputation point system. Oh, is that a green herb? Oh. One more limb I don't have to saw off. Oh, hey, Doc. And again, these army barricades suggest that maybe there is something to that crazy theory of hers. Yeah, something doesn't seem right. What do you plan to do? Probably just head out too. There's no telling how long it takes for someone to come for the train. Besides, it's just around the corner. Introduce yourself. Doesn't seem to be interested in small talk. Alright. Oh, here's a cabin. Found a carrot. Dried meat. Oh. Meat pie. Red herb. Got a little leg stutter. Oh, that was like a thing. Nothing. Yellow vial. Rotten meat on a platter. Take some. The maggots are crawling inside the piece. Maybe I'll feed it to someone. Come here, mouse. I want to eat you. Green herb. Blue herb. Not entirely sure what plant it is. Is it poisonous? Maybe it's better to leave it. Ooh, but if we had a botanist, we'd be good. Or if I was a botanist. I have plant knowledge. I saw that herb up there. I'm gonna go back for it. I just wanna make sure I don't muck anything up. Oh, come on. I can't go between those trees. That's so silly. Green herb. Mystery plant. Fence. Fence. Gotta head out. Alright, have a good night. Toxic radiant or morning. Oh, mushroom. Honey bun. Alright, so can we go through these barricades? We can't. Okay, so we do have to go that way, but we can also go up. Fence, 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 thing. Oh? An eerie sound fills the air, devoid of any life. Prehevil, Old Town, Maiden Woods. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. So I guess we were side detouring. This is the way to Prehevil. I'll get you, mouse. I'll get you. Alright, yeah. This is where we were looking at before. Let's go north. Let's go to Prehevil. Devoid air, devoid life. There's some red blood here. Ah, these people are just having a merry old time. Hacked off leg. Hacked off arm. No, you gotta pick that stuff up. That wasn't creepy. Looked like it fell over on its own, for sure. Full circles carved here. You could actually use it if you had something to draw. The occult person is back there. Alright, gotta hold my finger near the shift key. Run the fuck away. Green herb. So, what was over there? So, top left corner of the map, there's a ladder? Huh. Looking, the blood doesn't do anything. Prehevil, Maiden Woods. Well, Maiden Woods is pretty cut off, right? We can't go much further. Yeah, this is a dead end, I believe. Yeah. That's a dead end. Alright, we go this way. Oh, that's not something I can pick up. Unknown. Unknown. Nice use of negative space there. Green herb. I will do anything to get green herbs. Anything. Eerie silence fills the air, devoid of life. I really want to find a save point. There's a dude, and that dude died. Badly mutilated head of a villager. Termina is upon us. I was trying to stop him. Weirdly enough. Couldn't get it done. Okay, so let's go back. Explore this region. Explore this map-o. Alright, so we gotta charge that dude with assault, right? He just hacked someone up. This is, spear unsheathed. That's what it looked like. Yeah, we dodged him. We juked him. We outplayed him. That's a weird looking goat. Investigate the well. You can sense the bottom pretty easily. The well is dried up. You can see the well. Sense, that's silly. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk to that goat. Dusk slowly falls in rays of light. Nope. Nope. Penny bun. Goulash. There doesn't appear to be any electricity, so the television remains dark. This is a big house. Something sticky and yellow seeping from the inside of that. From the inside that makes the fridge door stuck, open with force. A terrible stench oozes from the inside. You got a white vial. Okay. Old leftovers. Old coffee stains. Glass shards. Oh, glass shards are an item? Maybe it's like a crafting thing? Maybe they're a trap. Maybe I throw them. Right table, it's blood? No way. Not like I've seen someone literally murder someone just 5 minutes ago. Oh, that's cool. Basement seems to be heavily locked up with a specific key. Investigate. The chains are really tight. Whatever inside was meant to stay in there. Listen. No sound coming from down there. I will not force that door open. The painting doesn't do anything. Oh, someone's up here. Painting that seems to depict something, but it might be as well. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Nope. Shards. Maybe it's a clock. It could be a clock. Oh, we got Almer up there. You find the 4 ages of modern history. Black shards. The crucifix of Almer is on the wall. Poggies. Woodsman's letter. Suitcase is empty. Smooge. Rest for a bit. You hear heavy breathing through your sleep. Oh, it's the dude. You are assaulted by the woodsman. The woodman approaches you ominously. There's a silent rage in his eyes. This battle theme is way too loud. There's a sound of rage in his eyes. A sense of terror fills the air. I'm ready to defend myself. Your words are in vain. The woodsman is clearly out for blood. Catch it. I lost my left arm? Armancer's trick. Catch it. Lost another arm. And another. Now I'm doing the hokey pokey. Face grab. Tempest is grabbed by the bony grasp of the appendage. Violently, the thing thrusts its tentacles down the throat. Cold tendrils can be felt squirming deeper and deeper. The vile thing squirts warm fluids and feeling like it's injecting Tempest with something. Tempest was defeated. Termina. Alright, well, I have died. I have to go through the dream again? Let's skip that intro. Wake up. Alright, so since we've done this before, I will not be reading everything. I guess it serves me right for sleeping in the dude's house, you know. I invaded his castle. Got a right to defend his home. Yeah, PG. Okay, so I remembered all that, so now we turn the volume back up. Um, which one's background? Oh, maybe it's just like another sound balancing issue where some things are just gonna be super loud. Can't remember. No, no. Chalk. We have an iron spear. We didn't get the iron helmet this time. Getting a lot of shillings though. Sadly, not silver coins. They do not allow me to buy Judases. Fractional Judases. Yeah, they're just talking. See, that's troublesome. Yeah, that's one way to put it. They're all gonna go over the train, introduce himself. You are their doom and torment, an embodiment of chaos, a pupil of to the terror of the modern man. Nasara's giving his narrative. Doesn't like occult girl. Keep an eye on August. Karen something something. Nasara doesn't like her. Doesn't like Henrik. Doctor doesn't introduce himself. Yeah, sure, I'll just say it. Wish I had your capacity in Feist, but I have a really hard time believing in every conspiracy theory floating around. I'm a journalist, I've covered wars. Blah blah blah. They're talking about hallucinogenics. This fucking strains my eyes. Sigh. It's the city. Karen goes to the city. We see Termina with its mighty erect tower. Game, come on. You don't have to ogle the erect tower forever. Alright then, if I see anyone, I'll let you guys know you're waiting here. Have fun finding a scoop from that sleepy town. I need to be going too. Sure thing, don't let us slow you down. A1. That is so fucking annoying. Like, the dude who makes this game has, like, some weird fetish for just, like, absurdly loud sound effects. It's so stupid. Good afternoon. It's Tanka. Good to meet your acquaintance. Really troublesome. What has come of our train trip? I'm not entirely certain on what to do. I have some urgent business at the city. Should I go on foot or should I wait for the train to come? Go on foot. I think you're right. The city isn't that far after all. I'll get to sightsee the local flora and fauna while I'm at it. Want to travel together? I'm afraid I'll have to refuse your company. I really need to hurry, and I think I'll do my best alone. If you excuse me, really need to hurry now. Alright, bub. Oh, are you going? Oh. Do we follow him? Let's see, if I go in here, will he be out there when I get out? Wayne? Alright, so no more sleeping in strange people's houses. I really just wanted to save, though. I did so much herb collecting. Yeah, we can't pick these. Alright, well that salesman's gonna be dead, right? Mist creeps, slowly creeps from the deeper woods. Oh, here he is. What is this? What on earth is going on? They are dead. That they are. Empty bucket. Empty bucket. We got a nice little green herb. Do I go back and find him dead? That'd be cool. This is horrible. Should we report this to someone, the local police? Yeah, sure. Leave. I'm not gonna attack him. I don't really get anything for killing people in this game. Maybe he'll come with me to the next screen and get hacked up. Am I trapped? Oh no, I'm not trapped. I thought I was trapped by frickin' plants for a second. An eerie silence fills the air, devoid of any life. And he's dead. Termina is upon us. And how? So he'll beat us up if we fight him, so we gotta stay away. Prehevil, Old Town, you hear distant screams and ramblings. You are not alone. If we find him, we'll run away. Oh, what's this? Is this like Olga? The lone goat. There's a lone goat here. It seems to be minding its own business, completely ignoring your presence. Pet it. You pet its head. Absolutely no reaction. Its glassy eyes stare right through you. It almost feels like the ghost thinks so highly of itself that it doesn't need to acknowledge you. Investigate. The goat stares to the distance with its glassy eyes. On the first instance, the creature seems harmless, but upon further investigating it, you are met with feelings of great dread. Can't really explain why this is. Give it a carrot. Without any festivities, it doesn't acknowledge your existence in the slightest. Nope. 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 Okay, I've, Maiden Forest. It slowly creeps away from the deeper forest. Oh, that horse got messed up. Fucking it didn't do anything. No, 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 no. Alright, we got by him. We can go in the house. I really don't feel like it. There wasn't that much in there. We got some, like, glass. Right? Scan to Termina. Oh, let's, get our stamina back. The door is barred up from the outside. Is it to keep something in? Looks like someone is standing still in the darkness. Bishop box found a blue herb. Grimy stains. A striking smell of mold fills the damp cottage. We will not be jumping in there. Boxes, yeah. Alright. Oh, hello. A bloody ritual crucifix. They used to have these in the olden times, but you've never seen one in person. The smell inside a sacrificed corpses is repulsive. You're like throwing up. Turned, and now we must dodge the crazy person. Egg. bottle of vodka. Vile, rotten meat. With a crazy person wearing an animal head. No, 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 no. A man with a pigskin gas mask is pursuing you furiously. Hold on, I don't want to start a fight. What is going on here? Your words are in vain. The man is clearly out for blood. We can't really run. Pesticide spray. 27, poison, 21, 19. Gas is leaking. Well, didn't work. One whacked. I have been defeated yet again. We're just gonna rapid click through the characters talking. If I'm making bad decisions and the game punishes me for it, so be it. Audio. Yeah, because I know in art. Oh, we found some bullets. That's nice. Because I know in RPG Maker, there's like different fields for different types of music. Like battle themes are in a different folder. And overworld themes and dungeon themes. Blue Vial. So I was hoping we could lower the battle theme potentially. Does it ever not punish? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think only pain is how we go. Wait, I'm already so late. Alright, I'm just gonna rapid click through this. Also, I'm closing my eyes because it kinda hurts how bright it is. Let's look away. Looking away might be better. Now everyone's doing their intro. I'm Henrik. Something, something. Everyone saw the dream. Can you believe it? I'm gonna try the the north path. Maybe that'll be less punishing. Do you think you'll encounter another boss fight against a dinosaur? Yeah, I do. Because if actually, did it explicitly state the void is the moon? Because I know digging through the wiki, they say that it is presumed to be the moon. And the linkage to this antagonist god, right? Because our antagonist is the moon god. Or they're the one hosting the Termina festival. I need to be going. So stupid. Just so dumb. Loud sound effects are cool. What are you doing? Yeah, I really don't want to go through all this stuff if we're just gonna, like, get murdered. Oh, our little, salesperson isn't here. Yeah, I'm going to the town. Kinda want to find a save point. And save. You know what I mean? Sweet, sweet. Sweet saving. Eerie silence fills the air. Yeah, because once I find a save point, I can backtrack and get all those herbs, potentially. Oh, hello, we got some, crucified people a la the first game. Yeah, that saves. Saves so important. Blue herb. Hmm. Oh, we got Caesar over here. Dude, what's this? Why can't I walk here? Oh, this is water? Another Roman looking head. Little bridgey bridge. Kinda wanna keep going up here. Oh no, are we cut off? The elevation differences in this game are like pretty... I don't know. Kinda hard to tell sometimes. Maybe it's just me. Because usually when I play this game, right, I have flux cranked all the way to the max. So it looks like a lot redder on my screen. And the contrast between some of the elements isn't as good as it should be. Pick up golden something something. What the fuck? Did he hit me? Door is locked. Force the gate open. Let me in! Gate is too strong for me. No shooty. Oh, now I can get by them. Or... Don't shoot, don't shoot. We already got it, right? Yeah. Golden Chanterelle. Or water. Oh, she was gonna shoot me. What is it? Where are you going? I'd rather not make acquaintances right now. It's not enough time loitering about. Where are you headed to the city? That's right. I'm going alone if that's what you're about to ask. What brings you here? I'm a journalist. I smell a scoop. I don't think anyone visits these parts unless they have to. Nice to meet you. Huh, likewise. Now if you excuse me, spend enough time loitering. I like you, Karen. I take for a scoop. Carrot. Boggies. Egg. Vegetable pie. flower. You did get stuck in a bush? Yeah, I figure. Like when you talk to a plant, right? It might let you pass through and then change to unpassable. Like the things you can't collect. Vegetable pie. Alright, I'm not fighting those dudes. Alright, I need to sneak by them. They're blind. Go toof. Nothing. Let's sneak in. Oh, hello. Are you dead? This person is barely alive. You can already hear death rattle coming from within. Loot. Find dried meat. Let's do it. Finished him. Ooh, there's more options. There's a lot of options. The bloody bowl. The blood is all dried up. The crate. Can't open. Okay, we can't cook our rotten meat. Just walk by these blind lokes. Hopefully Karen does the same. Can skin enemies, which I thought was interesting. Probably a crafting thing. Alright, so that's a bear trap. Oh no, it's a crow. Crowmuller has been reborn. It's free. Alright, so this is an elevator looking thing. Seems to be stuck. Okay, let's try to sneak by him. Good, good. What's this? Old rusty hatch here. Inspect. Too dark down there. You can't see anything but darkness. Egg. Meat pie. I'm gonna open it. What could go wrong? Seems to be some kind of maintenance tunnel going deep underground. Inspect. Can't hear or see anything. Oh, they're over there. Different people. Man, this Termina festival. Not that pog. Tactical espionage action. Successfully negotiating around blind people. Imagine another flesh bed, probably, yeah. Nothing good. Nothing good. I think we can all agree. Is this a coffin? 10-up coffin seems to be reinforced and really difficult to open. I'll leave it. I probably can't do anything now with it. And I don't want to alert the blind people. Alright, I think I have to go down the maintenance hatch, but I checked everything else. The tone leads into ever-pressing darkness. Dun dun dun. Smell it. The smell is neutral. No idea what the liquid is based on that. Toolbox. Gunpowder. Oh yeah, no, don't worry. I'm always watching out for crazy people. But, you know, let's keep the spoilers on the low. Broomstickle. In the woods, gotcha, yeah. Yeah, he messed me up. Actually, the game seems harder than Fear and Hunger 1 for the first few fights, where it's like Seems like you kind of just get like obliterated in the from the first encounters. So we found pressure plate. Electric panel here, you don't really know what to do with it. Yeah, I'm just a yellow mage. Force it open. Cut it up. That's such a goofy dance. Hmm. Okay. That didn't go well for us. Maybe I need to explore a little more. Yeah, I know, right? It's so like, oh, I can go this way. Yeah, I'm totally blind. Are you chasing me, bub? Chainmail dress. Plus physical, less magic. We'll go with plus physical. Hmm. All have severed heads. The heads seem to be in varying states of rot. The earliest head looks several weeks old, while the most recent one seems to be freshly cut. I'm just gonna get another Paul's. Makes it easier to read. After a while, throat gets sore. Could be dishes and leftovers considering the place are not entirely sure of the origin of the fresh meat. Wretched being, the dark corner of the unwanted and the undesired, where they dumped the diseased and stillborn, and now the mood scorched. Welcome, O fresh one. Welcome to the dipshit to the shit pit of Prehevil. Nice decoration you have here. Under the ever-watching eye of the dead. I want more though. I want the one who swiped half the old town. The woodsman. Okay, yeah. Then I want the one who condemned us down here. I want the filthy priest. Let's see what I can do. Show no remorse. Let their blood flow. Tempest is starting to feel hungry. So I was at 71. What happens if I eat this egg? Less hungry. Alright, so this dude wants heads. Right, as long as we don't, like, interact with him, I think we're good. Bottle of beer. Poggies. Does anyone get Resident Evil 4 Village vibes? Tails never fails. Full Devourer necklace. The stone protects against otherworldly powers. Otherworldly 84. Sure, I guess. Maybe it'll suck and I won't be able to unequip it. Blue herb. Yeah, I probably should have waited. Definitely getting that vibe. Good, good. Hmm. Turn up lavender. meat. Nothing. Blue herb. Egg. Wait, he's migrated off. Old Town. Oh, hello, Karen. It's you. Just what the hell is going on in this town? Something very bad. The locals, did you get attacked too? No, but they seemed off. It's better in a way because there's no ominous music to alert you. True. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Approach everyone with extreme caution. I'm not joking. This group just became a lot bigger. I have to be careful for what I wish for in the future. What do you know about this scoop? I have my connections to different organizations and groups. One of the resistance groups against the Bremen army tipped me that something was about to go down here in Prehevil. Apparently there's a very specific reason why Bremen army occupied this area. I wasn't informed about anything else, really. I can't believe I wasn't even warned about this place. This guy will have hell to pay once I get back to civilization. What do we do now? We don't do anything. I work alone. I have a scoop to investigate. Now the stakes just got higher. That's all. It won't be safe alone. Are you worried about me or yourself? I'm sorry, but you'd probably be a lot safer if you just returned to the train. Eat the egg. Paprika? Ooh, yeah. Maybe we can smoke it. It's a nice smoked paprika. You see footprints on the thick layer of dust. It's always been blocked by all this random junk. Okay, so Prehevil's been invaded by the Germans. I feel we're in like a World War I kind of scenario, but probably not actually. This must be the television room. The entire room is focused on this television set. Too bad it's useless because of the lack of electricity. A bloody bowl, typical to every television room. Damn straight. Dusty radio receiver, switch it on. Doesn't seem to work. Smooch. The view is almost straight through the window of the neighbor. Through the windows of the neighbors. The residents of these buildings don't care much for privacy. Painting of a gaunt figure depicts a young man with striking cheekbones. Nothing interesting. Oh, here's... Are they blind? Are they Germans? I think they're Germans. Or, sorry, Bremens. Refrigerators leaking dirty water. You find white vial. Dirty laundry. The stains are there for good. No amount of scrubbing will clean the plates. You find glass shards. Smooch. The disturbed man raises his rifle and carefully tries to take aim of you. The situation got a lot more dangerous all of a sudden. Your words are in vain. The man has you in his iron sights. Alright, well, we're going for the head. Smooch. Critical shot. 41 and bleeding. Head. Miss. Bleed a few. Aiming wildly. 3. I'm breathing hard, it seems. 378. Bleeding a bit more. Hawk. I'm sorry, but everyone must die. What are you talking about? The great trickster. He demands this. You must have heard him too. Tackle. Oh no. 17. What does rev up do? Oh, the little triangles, we use them. Tackle 17. 12, 3. This should cripple him? Dead. Right. So, we have died. We got further this time. We got to the army men with rifles. What do I think of the game so far? Pretty cool. Very interesting, different area. Getting some Resident Evil 4 vibes right now. Next time I'll try to run from those dudes. I liked this path a little more because when I went west to the other town, the people just like mega Superman at me. I think I made a lot further progress just going north. So next stream I will do that instead of, yeah. So if you enjoyed the stream, enjoyed the content, consider subscribing and clicking the bell icon. That way you get notified when the stream goes live or when I publish videos. And yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of Fear and Hunger 2. I'm still going to probably be doing some Fear and Hunger 1 content as well. I might even like do the playthrough simultaneously. I kind of want to do like another playthrough with like Enki on normal mode. And yeah, so if you enjoyed the stream, that'd be great. I will see you soon. Have a good night.